WNBA, I swear it is a league of snakes. Now it is hypocritical snakes. Now it is Napheesa Collier, as you can see here, shamelessly plugging Caitlin Clark's name. WNBA fans react to Napheesa Collier leveraging Fever Star fame to push CBA demands. Now, here's the problem I have with this. Again, this is why I said hypocritical too, is if you recall, by the way, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Someday I'm just going to say half of that. I get people who complain when I say it, people who complain when I don't. It is absolutely wild. But anyway, Napheesa Collier and talking about the CBA, of course, that is what this is about. It's about getting the players paid more than they deserve. And one of the things she said was the amount of money that Caitlin Clark has made the league is insane, and she's getting 0% of it. Fee spoke on the need for WNBA revenue sharing when asked about current CBA negotiations. Now, here are a couple of things with that, Napheesa Collier. And I actually touched on this briefly in another video that was about, I don't know, something different actually, but I got on the topic. The way that you get revenue share, the way that you grow the league enough to get revenue share is by putting games on TV that people will watch. Now, if you'll recall, while she tried to walk the fence, but everybody was very upset about the number of games the Fever were going to get in 2025. By far the most. I think it was 41. I believe the Liberty were next, was still with 32 teams. So they were the defending champs, even though they cheated. We know they cheated. It's on video. Yes. I shouldn't say they, maybe, but the referees. Anyway, and there was a lot of people upset about the Fever getting those games. But that's how you get to the point where your ratings are enough for you to justify getting the money you want. You have to have people watching, and that means putting your best teams on, your most popular teams on, I should say, that people are going to watch. Fee at the time, while a little smarter than some of the other players, was like, "Oh, I don't have a problem with the Indiana Fever getting that many games. I don't want to take away, but the defending champs should let me see if I think I have it here. And but the defending champs should get more games, right? Fever will have 41 games nationally, nine more than the Liberty's 32. Obviously, people want to watch Caitlin play, and so you have to put the people on TV that people want to see. But at the same time, there's stars all over the league. There are not. That's the problem. You want good basketball as well. Obviously, Indiana, especially with their free agents, are going to be a great team. That's not even what it's about, though. It's about watching Caitlin. But to not have the defending champs on TV more, I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, it doesn't have to be where you're taking games away from Indiana, but I think you can raise the level of TV games for the other teams as well. Now, see, this is one of the big problems I have. They have no idea what they're talking about. Napheesa Collier has no idea what they're talking about. There are only so many games that you can put on TV. There are only so many games that are part of the package. Therefore, you can't raise the level of TV games for all the other teams as well without taking away from the Fever. You can't raise the games for the Liberty without taking away games from the Indiana Fever unless you're taking away games from other teams. But somebody has to lose games. Now, the new CBA might be a little different, right? There might be more flexibility where they can add games during the season that otherwise might not have been televised as opposed to switching games out as the NFL likes to. I think at the end of the season with I believe it's Sunday night, they sort of have that flex schedule where they're going to, if a team that they thought was going to be a big deal isn't, and they're out of the playoffs, and we've got another game that has playoff implications. I think it's in the last, what, 4 or 5 weeks. I can't remember the exact detail of that. But here's the other thing that I would put to that with what Collier said when she's trying to make this about, oh, Caitlin Clark doesn't get any of that revenue and she grows the league. I mean, one, you're admitting that she's the face of the league, which is cool. I'm cool with that. But here's the other problem. I want to get down to some of the reactions as well. But yeah, I want to make sure I have the quote from here. We are being so grossly almost taken advantage of, and it should be illegal. Now, see, Collier, I get it. You got a lot of dumb fans. I understand. But most people read that and they're not going to be sympathetic with you. You're an employee. You're an employee of the WNBA. Okay? You don't have to play basketball. You can go get another job. You graduated from UConn, right? Go use your degree. Go get a real job. That's just simply the way it is. Now, again, I'm not saying with the new CBA they shouldn't get more money. I'm just putting this into perspective for her to say that's a little dramatic. I think Fee was a drama girl. I feel bad for her husband. The amount of money that Caitlin has made the league is insane, and she's getting 0% of it because we have no rev share. She gets less than 80,000 a year, and she's bringing in like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's insane. So she just admitted that it's Caitlin Clark, right? The new TV deal is what 200 between 230 $260 million a year. So she just said Caitlin's bringing in as much as the new TV deal. But a couple things to that point. I'm curious what y'all think in the comments. Let me know. The revenue share, first of all, there is revenue share. There is revenue share in the current deal that is about to expire. There is revenue share. They like to keep saying there is not, but there is. Now, the other thing is, since she's saying, oh, Caitlin's not getting any of this. So, Fee, are you going to say that you want a revenue share done that's actually based on players getting a percentage of what they bring to the league specifically? Because I'm going to guess that's not what you're doing. That's not how it is in the NBA, right? The NBA is the players share 50% of the revenue, but that's just the way it is. It's not, and that has to do with the salary cap and everything else. But players aren't individually getting a piece of what they bring to the NBA. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So a lot of this, again, this is just Napheesa Collier clutching at straws, grabbing at something, using Caitlin Clark's name to try and get herself paid more money or to use that as leverage with Unrivaled, of course, which again is the biggest deal. But yeah, Napheesa Collier just shamelessly plugged in Caitlin Clark's name. I respect it. Fee speaking facts, not really, but anyway, those fans are mad at a player fighting for others to get paid more, and it would lead to Clark getting paid more. But they're so mad at Collier for calling for their favorite player to get paid. Wow, that's a sentence. That's also not it at all, which I won't recover because I covered again because I kind of just went through all of that as to that not being the issue. What is wild too is I clicked on this, and I think there's others that do this as well. It's so weird what they go and get. No picture, no, not even a profile, anything. 91 followers. And that, well, I mean, where are you pulling these, Sportskeeda? Is this your own? Is this your own quote here? Uh, Kind of interesting. Remember when Steph White said she was tired of people trying to use Caitlyn for their own agendas? True, but I think Steph White's been doing that as well. So I think that might be. Now they want to talk about Cece. Yeah, that's the point. Using Caitlyn's name again. Yeah, that's the point. Because the other thing, and it's right, talk about here, the last thing I want to leave you with, because this is important. When she had that exit interview, right, where she had the nasty injury, and I hope she recovers quickly. I hope she has a quick recovery. Like I don't hate on Napheesa Collier, but I'm going to call her out on nonsense that we can discuss because we all want to grow the game the right way so that there's success going forward. When she talked about the officiating, and again, dropped Caitlin's name there, and here is the problem I have with that. We saw 2 years of terrible officiating with Caitlin Clark. We saw 2 years of players clutching, grabbing, trying to injure, hitting in her head. Kennedy Carter, blindside hit. The Marina Mabrey blindside hit. Dejanay Carrington trying to blind her, and on and on and on. And there was not a single peep from Napheesa Collier. But now she gets hurt, and she's going to use Caitlin Clark and what Caitlin Clark's been through, something that the head of the players union, I always want to say head, is she VP? I always get them confused. But one of the big players in the players union who was completely silent the last 2 years when it came to what was going on with Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, was involved in that appalling statement put out trying to get Christina Brennan fired because Christina asked about a dirty play by Dejanay Carrington on Caitlin Clark, something that suddenly Napheesa Collier has an issue with, but she was on the other side of the issue back then. Kind of wild. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill by now. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.